So, you went to Northwestern. Tell me about that. I mean, how long were you there and all that?
I was there for 3 years. Had a great time, enjoyed the school, loved playing the Big Ten baseball. It was a good experience, good learning for me to get to this step here.
You mentioned before that you started out in Daytona. Yeah. You were drafted, I think, what, the 11th round by the Cubs in 2010?
Yep.
So just kind of talk about your road here, I mean, and how you've gotten here and what you're looking to do.
Yeah, right after the draft, I went up to Boise, Idaho, and played some short season baseball and really struggled, really bad. Had a bad ERA, never got out innings, it was pretty tough. But worked with Jeff Facero, our pitching coach here, and he's actually been with me for about 3 years now. And we've got a lot of mechanical things figured out, and then my first year I went to Peoria, had a good season there. Last year went to Daytona and here, had another good season. So since Boise I've had good stretches, so hopefully we'll continue that into this year.
So, I mean, you talk about your struggles at Boise. What did you struggle with specifically? I mean,
getting the ball down in the strike zone, throwing inside, stuff like that. A little different than the way you pitch in college. In college, with the metal bat, you kind of stay away from the hitters and force them to hit it the other way. Here, it's a little different with the wooden bats. I wasn't very good at throwing inside. Didn't get the ball down where I needed to. So now I've kind of worked on that. It's kind of become one of my strengths.
You talked about your pitching coach. Did you start out with him in Boise and you guys just kind of went together? Or
yeah,
how does that work?
He was the coach in Boise when I got there, and then the next year he was the pitching coach in Peoria, and then last year he was here in Tennessee, and I spent most of the year here again. So I've really been with him every step of the way, and so he's really gotten familiar with the way I like to throw and my mechanics, and knows when something's off and things like that, so it's nice to have him around.
Yeah, it's a good relationship. So it's your first year really, you said it's your first year starting out with Tennessee. You've already had one start, did well in it. I mean, what are you looking to do this season, specifically different parts of your game that maybe you struggled with last season?
Yeah, I've always been like a fastball changeup pitcher, and that third pitch has always been more so-so than a good pitch for me. So I really try to work in the offseason on getting my curveball to be a good pitch. And again, pitching is all about getting ahead in the count, throwing strikes down in the zone. So if I can improve on that, that always helps you for the future.
It's your first home start, here Friday. That's right. Talk about this Chattanooga lineup. A lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about Puig over there. I mean, and I'm not sure about anything else on their team, but just talk about their lineup and what you're going to have to face on Friday.
I mean, I'm excited to watch them these first 2 games to kind of get a feel for who they got and things like that. But I know a few of their guys from last year, and they had a really solid team last year too. So the Puig, I think, is how he's something like that. He's apparently a big-time prospect, good hitter. So I'm excited to face him.
Is there anything in your pitching style that you think will match up favorably with them, or have you really just not figured that out? Maybe.
I mean, it's so early in the year. I don't really know much about them. Everything with me is trying to keep them off balance. I don't have an overpowering fastball, so I'll probably try to work fastballs, changeups, keep them off balance. Keep them not positive on what pitch is coming. And if I can get indecisiveness in their head, then they're not going to hit it as hard. Hopefully.
Yeah.